Eventually, Dayna finds herself driving by chance into the midst of the silent, saw-toothed peaks, shadowy chasms, and towering spires of the South Dakota Badlands. She finds a cheap motel, checks in, and sets out to explore the singularly strange land around her. Dayna starts out hiking, but then begins to climb the Badlands formations, a challenge that she faces, then enjoys, and then revels in.
I can do this. I can actually do something.
And yet, a week after her arrival,
I can't do anything.
Falling further by the moment, she hastens back to her motel room.
I'm sorry, everyone, for everything. God, I'm sorry.
Dayna burrows under the covers of her bed, then turns off the lamp, plunging her room, her bed, and her body into the same darkness that fills her heart. She sees her future spread out like a minefield before her. Her songwriting block means
I'll never compose again.
the hollowness she feels while performing means
my music is shit. Soon the critics will expose me for the fake, the sham that I am.
her chronic fatigue means
A tumor, a cancer somewhere within me is sucking up all my strength.
the accusatory parting words of her most recent lover prove that even if Dayna lives,
I'll spend my whole life alone.
she longs for sleep as for another person. A soulmate. The harder she wishes, the more painful the void. At daybreak, finally she sleeps, but after 2 hours of tortuous dreams, she wakes up exhausted.
God, it's like I haven't slept at all.
A new day, but just more of the same. Dayna lies staring at the clock radio, watching time crawl by, and cringes at the mocking sliver of sunshine that's forced its way between the curtains into her stale brown cell of a room.
If I could get up just for a moment, go over and pull those curtains closed and blot it out.
But she can't, for she is afraid to move. Mid-afternoon, lying on her stomach, she is transported back in time to relive
Pain for pain, shame for shame.
the most hideous moments of her shattered life. Into her damp pillow, Dayna croaks out her plea.
No! God, please just no!
Her head swims, for she is drunk again on the peppermint schnapps he has given her.
Sickly sweet taste of it still in my mouth.
The knuckles of her left fist clench between her teeth, while the pillar of hate that is him presses, grinds, and pounds her into the mattress. And he batters his way into the torn, raw core of her, into
this shattered shell that's me, and I just can't flee.
An eternity later, the flashback ends, leaving Dayna beaten down, shaking, furious.
With God, with fate, with him, and with myself. Is this my reward for facing my demons, for my lifelong refusal to sugarcoat, for my unwillingness to self-censor or suppress?
She longs to be like those with repressed memories who have been granted, at least consciously, a sanctuary from the past. She is jealous of the ignorant, the clueless, the oblivious. She envies the cataleptic, the comatose.
The dead.
Then instantly, at 3:03 p.m., as if by the flip of a tiny toggle in the center of her head,
it's over. Somehow, for now at least, it's over.
Dayna sits up and wipes off her cheeks. She stands, pads over to the sink, and splashes cool water onto her face. Then she sits on the bed and puts on her hiking boots, tying them up good and tight. She opens the door. From across the barren plain, the distant range of Badlands formations seems to beckon.
I guess that one, that tall one. Why not? Okay, let's go.
I keep moving, a woman possessed. Night after night, I await the morning light and the chance to continue this quest. Mile after mile, entranced all the while by these badlands, half heaven, half hell. Climb after climb, I grow stronger each time, but never as strong as the spell. And sometimes my prospects seem poor, for each peak that I reach leads to more. How can your search ever come to an end if you don't know what you're looking for? Hand over hand, I ascend in a land where nothing is set in stone. Progress is slow, and all that I know is how little can ever be known. Hunger and thirst are more blessing than curse, and they remind me that I'm still alive. So I struggle and try, but the summit's so high, it's not certain I'll ever arrive. And I'm miles from a friend or a phone, but I'm equally far from alone. If the foundation beneath me gives way, God give me faith, God give me strength. If the foundation beneath me gives way, God give me faith in my own, in my own, in my own, in my own, in my own.
Thank you. Silent and intent, Dayna works her way up the tallest Badlands formation in sight, a massive mountain of earth and clay that undermines her every expectation.
Geez, from below that looked like a straightaway, but it's led me straight to this chasm. With a running start, I could jump it, well, with luck. But how stable is the other side?
With luck, she's not feeling lucky. Hasn't in quite some time. But
I've climbed this far. No way am I turning back now.
instead she ascends a steep ridge to the right. Dayna climbs well. She is light and live. More crucial, though, is her keen climber's eye, her natural talent for spotting and then seizing each opportunity.
This handhold, it'll hold. This ledge, it won't dislodge. It'll endure. This foothold, it'll bear my full weight.
She catches herself. Her misstep sends a loosened fragment bumpily tumbling all the way down.
That's a hell of a long way to the bottom.
But it's okay, for she has begun to grow in confidence, to understand
Less with my mind than with my arms and legs, my flesh, muscle, and bone.
that she is not going to fall.
For better or worse, I am this body, and this body seems to know what it's doing.
So she picks up her pace and reaches in time a flat stretch that slopes up into a gently concave cliff with a tier of cumulus clouds hovering beyond it.
This is it. I've reached the top. I guess I lost track of just how far I climbed. Now it's like I'm at the edge of the world.
Dayna steps up to the brink and looks down. Far, far below, the white river snakes serenely through a lush valley dotted with cottonwoods and ash. There to the west,
A herd of bison.
there to the north,
A pair of horses side by side in a sunny pasture.
there in between.
A vacant dirt road wending its way to nowhere.
Dayna stands there and gazes out, down, all around. She watches the clouds crawl by, watches their shadows creep over the prairie. It is a breathtaking sight.
And it would make a breathtaking place to breathe my last.
It's tempting because it would be so easy to just step off and drop down, down, swiftly reversing her laborious descent, then meet the ground from which she started and let it erase in an instant all of her pain.
No more screwed up attempts. A fall from this height would do the trick. Plus, I'd be out here, in the air, on the land, in the light.
She takes a half step forward, the toes of her boots now poking over the edge. How she has hoped, longed, ached for deliverance. And it had seemed like her wish was being granted, like the land itself might deliver her if she could stay put and take it all in.
That I could do, could even embrace.
But to start on medication to alter her mind?
That was what he did to me. Used booze to cloud my brain in order to take my body.
She hasn't had a drink since, let alone anything stronger, despite her otherwise typical rock and roll lifestyle.
It's simple self-defense. Keep your head pure, lest your body be contaminated again. Keep your mind clean, because that mind of mine, it's all I have left. But where is it now?
Each time Dayna feels she's reached the breaking point, she somehow manages to plod on, if not persevere.
But how much more can I take? Isn't there a limit to how far a person can bend without breaking? Isn't survivor just a life sentence?
Dayna closes her eyes. She teeters on the edge as the wind whistles in her ears. It swirls and curls, currents and cross currents buffeting her from all directions.
A single step is all it takes.
Gusts from her left, from her right, from both sides squeezing, from the front, the right, the back and left at once.
One tiny step that will save me so many others.
Wind from behind her, from the right, from the left, from the front.
One step that'll cure me, solve everything.
Gusts from her left, from the front, still from the front, still from the front only. Hard and now harder, pushing and prodding her from the front, urging her back away from the edge. Digging her heels in, Dayna stands her ground, afraid to step forward or back.
To die or live.
And so she vows to wait the wind out and choose her answer. But then it occurs to her.
The wind itself might be an answer.
She backtracks 1, 2, 3 paces. The cold gust in her face subsiding with each step.
Is the wind dying down now because I'm lower, less exposed, or sounds crazy, but because I just did as the wind asked?
She gazes ahead, far off into the distance, as if to a future that, till a moment ago, she knew she would never live to see.
Okay, fine. I'll look into medication. I'll find a doctor in town and try to be open about it. Give myself a fighting chance.
Dayna turns and walks away from the edge. She takes a deep breath, then begins the long, slow trek back down to solid ground.
Thank you.